Now this video is for anybody who's trying to get into DMX programming, but essentially because I got my own DJ business, I gotta program these lights. And you know, I kind of accidentally rewritten my entire session file, so I just decided why not show you guys how I do my programming, even though you guys do not know who I am. But for today, we got these two moving heads and two par lights that we're going to be programming. Each of these two have 11 channels of DMX. I believe those have 7 or 10. I am not so sure. But I'm here decked out because I already got the power cables, some DMX cables to go, and I have a USB DMX programming piece of hardware because I don't have a DMX light show board, as you know, and I run it all off my computer. So when I'm doing DJ shows, you know, these can just move and I can just use the DJ software while I'm DJing, you know, and it's just way better. Your music's just coming through and your lights react with it. So yeah, I'm gonna show you that first. When you're buying DMX cables, make sure your cables are dedicated for light fixtures. So, you know, this cable right here works. One way you know it's a light fixture, sometimes depends on the tip, you know, sometimes it shows what it's made for, but you just got to make sure you do your research. Sometimes there's cables that do both XLR and DMX audio. Just keep in know that XLR and DMX look really similar, and in fact can fit in the same slot, but for some reason use the 3 XLR pins. But these do work for lights. It just depends on the material and how it transports data. As you can see, this is a USB DMX dongle I use. Just Digital Life. I just bought it randomly on Amazon. I don't know what it is, but it'll work. It'll for sure work. Now keep in mind, if you're going to be running a light show with any like amount of lights, you're going to need a computer with enough RAM. Now this is because if you're DJing or running all of this operations through your USB cord, you're gonna need lots of RAM because that's gonna be a lot of load. Also depends on your CPU, you know. Graphics card doesn't really matter, but you just need a good CPU and RAM in order to run this stuff really fast. But that's why most people buy dedicated boards. They can just program it on the boards, past session files, and it'll just be ready to go for any like event, any big event you gotta do. But yeah, I just happen to have a good computer, so yeah. Now first thing to do is plugging in all of these DMX inputs right here. Now you might notice there's a DMX 512 there. What that means is that it uses the DMX 512 protocol channel. Essentially, you can connect a lot of fixtures up to this number here. Imagine every single channel takes up this number basically. So if I have 2 of these, right, and each of them take 11 channels. First of all, there's no such thing as a channel 0 in DMX, so this would be taking up channels 1 to 12 basically, or yeah, basically 12 or 11. So it would take up 11 channels. Now if you want to put a second fixture next to it, the DMX starting address for this would have to be like 12 and up, because 11's already taken for a specific channel here. Now you got to address this and it would go from 12 to basically 22. But yes, if you're not sure, you can like check on your software what DMX channels are available in order to connect these. Okay, I got all these fixtures hooked up. You can't really see that one down there, but I got QLC open. Now this is what I use for now for my shows. I used to use Freestyler. Only problem with Freestyler, I feel like I was kind of limited, but I was able to get these presets that they already had, since these are like pretty cheapos. I mean, I just look for U-Kings, and that's their basic Chinese factory. But these channels are accurate. You need to make sure these symbols are like completely accurate too if you're adding like a strobe. I mean, I'll show you this. This is a master fader for this par, and I can just turn the red up, the green, and the blue. I can also make it strobe. I also had to change this, but it works, and that's what you need to know. And yeah, you can just make what's called functions here. You can also make shows. I mean, bro, this is sick. You can literally run a show in here. Right, so I got all of this ready to go. Now there's something called an EFX. Now basically this automates all your movements for your moving head. So if you want to make it go like a circle or any of that stuff, but you can just like click on this, and this is just a default one. I've assigned both of these moving head fixtures, and you just play that and they follow the same thing. Now when you come here, you can also do relative, and it'll just, I don't know what that does. Essentially this is what they're following. So if we play that back, these are all following the according numbers of like X and Y and stuff. Now there's X offset, and there's all of this stuff. We'll get into that. But if you're trying to make this guy do like the reverse position, right? You could do that. You can make bro kind of just move around like this. It'll be tough.